Okie dokie, folks. Let's see who's back, please. Just pop your cameras on so that I know that you're back. Okay, folks, can you please take with you a pen and something to write on, like your notebook or your notepad? Make sure that it's something that you can write on, please, not just a piece of paper that gets all floppy. Switch off your virtual backgrounds. Take out your My Headphones and go and stand on the environment page. Laverne, please, can you pick your camera up off the floor, put it on a chair? I need to see you, not the pieces of paper.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so everybody, I need to see you while you're walking your journey. Tanya, the same. If you could please lift your laptop up onto a chair or a table so that I can see you. Kim. All right. So please go and stand on your environment page. All right. Laverne, Jane, Elsa, Sibusiso, Lily, Electra, I need your cameras on for this, please. All right. Okay. All right. Kim, please, can you go and stand on your spirituality page?
Okay, spirituality is the first one.
Yep, the one furthest away from the camera.
Okay, I'm going to just swap them around. Hang on.
Okay, then I'll come back to you. Folks, make sure that your environment is furthest away from the camera and your spirituality is closer to the camera. All right. Lily, can you please turn your camera around? There we go. All right. Lena, you know what to do. I'm not going to check in with you. Amanda, are you standing on your spirituality page? Amanda? I think Amanda's frozen again. All right, Michelle, you standing on your spirituality page? Can you just step forward standing on your environment page? Can you step forward onto your spirituality page, please? That's perfect. Thank you. Jane, you're standing at environment. Thank you, Michelle. Jane, can you move forward onto your spirituality page? Perfect. Thank you very much. Vian, you're standing on environment. Can you move forward to spirituality, please? Thank you. Boy, I can't see you. Where are you? All right. Where's your environment page? Okay, that's good. Thank you. Ilsa, you're standing on your environment page? And your spirituality page is going to stand on there, please. Okay, great. Thank you. Elsa, when you're doing this activity, can I ask you to please face the camera, not side on? Okay, Lily, you're standing on your environment page. All right. Okay, let me think here. Lily and Laverne, if you can just, oh, you're both on cell phones. Okay. All right. No, that's fine. Lily, stand on your environment page for me, please. Okay, and then your spirituality page. Perfect. Thank you. Kim, Laverne, I was watching you at the same time. Kim, you're on your environment page. Can you step forward onto your spirituality page, please? Kim, if you're talking to me, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
So far, I've got environments in the front, behaviors, capabilities, identity, beliefs, and values, and my spirituality is at the back. So,
Kim,
yeah,
I want the environment closest to the cupboard and the spirituality closest to the computer.
Okay.
And then check that you've got everything else in the right order in between. Okay. Lungile, go and stand on your environment page for me, please.
Okay.
And now walk forward onto your spirituality page. That's perfect. Thank you. Okay, Sibusiso, you're going to have to put your cell phone down. You're going to have to write. And you can't hold a notepad and a pen and your cell phone. Okay. Even you put a book or something in front of your cell phone so it doesn't slide, that's fine. Okay, so can you go and stand on your spirituality page, on your environment page, please? Okay, so are you standing now on your environment page? Okay, I want you to move your environment page. Sibusiso as close to the wall behind you as you can. And then I want you to move everything away from the camera a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, folks. Everybody standing on your environment page, please have your notebook and your pen with you so that you can write. I'm going to read a paragraph to you, and then I'm going to ask you to make some notes. All right? So everybody's now standing on the environment page. Please, can I ask you just to close your eyes for a moment? Lungile, are you standing on your environment page? Then your environment page is on the wrong side. I want the environment page furthest away from the camera.
Yes.
Everything else in the right order. Spirituality closest. So guys,
Yes.
please just do a self-audit. Environment is furthest away from the camera and spirituality is closest. And everything in between is in the right order.
I just want to ask, must we all stand on the environment page now?
I want everybody standing on the environment page now, please.
Okay, thanks.
All right. And as you're standing on your environment page now, please will you close your eyes for a moment? Take in a deep breath. And release it. Breathe in again. And release it. Very good. As you're standing on your environment page, Think about the environment that you are in, the place where you work, the place where you live, the places that you go to socialize, the people you have around you, the places where you go generally, and your environment generally in life. Are you happy with that? Or are there changes that you'd like to make? Think about it for a moment. Make your notes for later. And when you're done, put your hands down beside you. Just giving the last people a moment or two to finish writing. Okay. Electra and Jane, your cameras are off, so I can't see where you are in the process. Okay, very good. And now, please, will you take, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to step onto your behavior page. If you can take a nice step, then please do so. If you can't, then just pretend to take a very big step. Can you step now onto your behaviors page, please? Very good. Are you doing the things in your life that you want to do? Or are there things that you'd love to do, but don't seem to find the space, or the budget, or the time? Are there things that you do that you don't like doing, but maybe feel that you have to or should, can't stop doing? Think about these for a moment. Make your notes for later. And when you're done, put your hands down beside you. Okay, just waiting for the last people to finish writing. Okay. Very good. Please now take a step onto your capabilities page. Very good. What skills, talents, abilities, qualifications, and experiences do you have? What are all the things that you're capable of? Are you happy with these? Or are there skills, qualifications, and so on that you feel you really need to acquire? Think about that for a moment. Make your notes for later. And when you're done, put your hands down beside you. Just giving everybody else a moment to finish. Okay. And now, if you can please take a step onto your values and belief page. What is important to you? Is it success, love, achievement, adventure, commitment, fairness? What? Think about that for a moment. Think about what your beliefs are about these things. Do you have any limiting beliefs? Disempowering beliefs, such as I'm not confident enough, I'm not good enough, I'm too tall, too short, too young, too old, too thin, too fat, that sort of thing. Think about this for a moment. Make your notes for later, and when you're done, put your hands down beside you. Okay, now you're all doing very well. Now please take a step onto your identity page. Who are you? How would you describe yourself? What are all the roles you play? Parent, sibling, child, employee, lawyer. What is your marital status? Your religion, your race? What sports and affiliations do you belong to? What are the other things that define you as a person? Which of these roles or groups or situations do you think are most important to mention? And in what order would you put the rest? Think about this for a moment. Make your notes for later. And when you've finished, put your hands down beside you. I'm just waiting for the last people to finish making their notes. Very good. All doing very well. And now please move on to your spirituality page. Knowing and understanding that spirituality includes the vision you have for your life and the mission that you have for your life. What is the purpose of your life? What is your life all about? Why do you bother to work, to live? What do you want written on your gravestone one day? Think about that for a moment. Make your mental notes for later. And when you're done, put your hands down beside you. We're just waiting for the last people to finish writing. Very good. Now what I would like you to do is I would like you to take one step forward off your spirituality page. And now turn around and look back down your journey, all the way from spirituality, all the way back to environment. Have a look at your notes. And decide for yourself, out of all of those areas, which is the number one most important area that you need to work on. And once you've worked out which is the most important area, work out which is the most urgent area. It may be the same, it may not be. Make a note of that. Make a note of the important one and make a note of the urgent one. And once you've done that, you can return to your seats. Okay. Is there anybody who'd like to give me some feedback on what they discovered while they were on their journey? What did you think of the exercise? Boy.
Yeah,
How did you find the exercise?
a bit emotional for me. I found it a bit emotional, and there were things that I thought I knew, but maybe I had kept them on my, unconscious mind. So they came up to the surface, and it was not good confronting some of them. It was really not good. I didn't know what to write, but I knew they were there. I needed to write about them. Yeah, so for me, it was emotional.
Thank you very much. Elsa, I see you have a hand up.
Hi, yes, let me just put on my video for you as well for now. And I just found that what I know is in my mind and what I've been trying to work on is in fact those things that I do need to work on. And not quite yet the journey that I need to do, because I'm finding that, but working towards it, and it just confirmed that.
Good. Thank you very much. Folks, just so that you know, if you have a look down on your taskbar right at the bottom, on the left-hand side, you've got a mute button and then a start-stop video button. If you move along to the reactions button and you open the reactions button, you will see a raise hand bar. Click on the raise hand bar for me. What that does is it tells me that you have a question, you want to say something. Once you've raised your hand, I will acknowledge it, but please don't drop your hand. Leave it there, because what it does is it moves your picture to the top left of my screen, and I know that I need to come to you. All right? I will, once I've spoken to you, I will drop your hand. Okay, good. So now, Lily had a hand up. So those of you who have got something to say, please raise your hand, your electronic hand. All right, Lily, you've got something you'd like to add? Lily? You're on mute.
Sorry. Yes. I've just realized that, you know, when we did all the exercise, and then you said we must note what's important and what is urgent. Okay, I knew what was important, but, you know, it sort of hit me that this is what is urgent, and I've never really previously thought that it was urgent.
Thank you, Lily. Michelle.
Thank you.
What I realized is that something that I thought I didn't need to work on at all, and I actually realized that I've been suppressing it, and that is something I do need to focus on. I previously thought it's fine, I've got it, and now I'm like, okay, no, right, I don't. I need to actually work on that.
Amazing. This is a wonderful exercise. Thank you, Michelle. Elsa, I see your hand up.
You asked us to raise it just so that you could see we know where it is. We've already spoken.
All right, I'll take it down for you then. Kim, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, my speaker's on now. Yeah, look, obviously, it's obviously a good exercise. Without going into too much details, I've been on my own self journey for the last, I'd say, about 8 years. I've been going through a whole bunch of things, and understandably that I understand that, you know, you can't help others unless you can help yourself first. So this has been my journey for a very, very long time, and I've been, you know, dwelling into a whole bunch of things, and I've had a whole bunch of very good teachers that have helped me along my road. So yes, as far as this exercise, I've never done it in this way, and it's been very beneficial, and it's very easy for me to answer these things. And I can honestly say that it always comes down to one thing, which when I fill in all the rest of them, they're very positive, and I know them, and I know them with conviction. And yet there's limiting beliefs, which is one thing which constantly comes up, which constantly has been there. That's, you know, that I can, without a doubt, it's one of the first things I always write down. So yeah, obviously it's a valuable exercise to put it in this way, but nonetheless it's nothing I haven't had to ask myself in all of this journey that I've been on for the last couple of years and been going through. So yeah, I enjoy doing it anyway, nonetheless.
It sounds to me like it's time to let go of that limiting belief.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. And the only way I can do that is by focusing on all the positive things I'm saying. But you can't change anything you don't acknowledge. And I'm just saying I'm acknowledging that this is still, even though it's the one thing that I have mentioned has gotten a lot better. I can still feel it's there. So when we talk about that one thing you asked us to circle or one of, you know, name one of the things that papers we were standing on, I can very quickly tell you which one I circled both times. And
so, yeah, I don't want to go into it in depth.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying.
What I'm saying to you, if it's lingering this long, changing the words is not going to fix it. It means you've got to go back, find out where it comes from, and actually reframe that original story.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to go back and you've got to relook at that story, because remember what happens, especially if it's something that was created when we're little. An event happens, we create a story, and that story rules our life. So just to give you an example, I had a young lady, a client, who used to phone her husband every hour. Where are you? What are you doing? And who are you with?
No, sure.
When we unpacked it, it came from a moment in time when she was 10 years old. Her mother was not in her picture. The father, it was nighttime, and she was standing at the bottom of the staircase, just around the edge of the staircase. He came down the stairs, left out the front door, and there was a woman at the front door, and he left. In that moment, she felt abandoned because he didn't say goodbye to her. In that moment, she developed a fear of men leaving her, men abandoning her. Every relationship she'd had, the men left her. Why? Because she phoned them every hour.
Sure.
And so I simply spoke to her and I said to her, so was he there the next morning? Yeah. Was he there through your childhood? Yeah. Oh, so he didn't abandon you. And in that instant, that whole belief was taken away. So it's important to go back sometimes and understand where it actually comes from. What was the moment that that story was created? Thanks, Kim. Amanda.
Hi. Okay, so it was quite an emotional journey for myself as well, and a few things have come up that, you know, it's stored in the back of the mind, but you never really think about it, and it's now come up, and I feel like these are things that I really need to focus on working on.
That's exactly why we do this exercise. Thanks, Amanda. Tanya?
Leslie, mine was honestly like pure pride. Honestly, like it's for the past 10 years I've been into personal development, but since 2018, like I just lost myself a little bit, and I promised myself that no matter what, and I've invested thousands upon thousands of dollars on coaches and healers and everything, and it was just so freaking lovely. Like every single one of those things, I just felt pure pride because, you know, before, even though I've done all the things and I can be proud of, but I never was. And now, you know, with all the growth and breaking through those limiting beliefs, it's like anything is freaking possible. It's very cool. Yeah. So it was beautiful, actually. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Sibusiso, first of all, I want to know, what are you drinking? And if it's got alcohol, are you sharing?
No. It's just a cold drink, soft drink.
Okay. What's your feedback?
With this exercise here, what I've learned is that in life there might be many things that are hindering you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. But if you are aware what is exactly that is hindering or stopping you, then you can deal with it specifically. And then in that fashion, you can overcome whatever obstacles, and then you can reach your goal. So it helps to know exactly where and what to fix and how to fix the problem. I think that exercise, it was very fruitful for me.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Sibusiso. Okay. So the exercise that I've just taken you through is an exercise in NLP that we call logical levels. Now, if you have a look on top of page 54, the first couple of words says Robert Dilts developed the neurological levels. That may or may not be important to know. Okay. Neurological levels, also known as logical levels. Okay. So each one of this environment, behaviors, capability, beliefs, and values is a level. All right. And what happens in our minds is this. Let me just quickly do this for you. Ugh, why are you doing this to me? Okay, so understand that it works like this. Your environment is your foundation of everything. Okay? If you think about it, you can go and stand in one of these walk-in freezers that they have at a restaurant. All right? And no matter how thick, or freelance, no matter how thick your clothes are, no matter what you do, if you stay in that freezer for long enough, you will eventually freeze. You can stay there and say, I'm warm, I'm warm, I'm warm, I'm warm, I'm warm, I'm warm. Thick gloves, blankets, jackets. But eventually you'll freeze. Your environment wins in the long term every time. Inside of your environment, in fact, let me just clear all of this. Let me start this again. So if that is your environment, inside of your environment, the next most important thing is your behaviors. And remember that your behaviors includes your thoughts. How do you behave? How do you think about yourself? How do you talk about yourself? Next one, whoops, my straight lines are letting me down, my capabilities. What are all the things that you know how to do? Now, the things that you know how to do will be affected from one environment to the other. When you're at home, you know a whole lot of different things about when you're at work. As you move from one job to the other, it dictates what are all the things you need to know how to do. That's better. Your beliefs and values about yourself. Your beliefs and values about the world around you, your worldview. How do you see the world? Do you see the world as an empowering, kind place, or do you see the world as a disempowering, evil place? How do you see the world? Your identity. Who do you believe you are? What is the identity you create for yourself? The thing about identity is you get to choose who you want to be. And once you've chosen your identity, all of these other things start aligning. Your spirituality. That doesn't mean Christian, doesn't mean your religion. What is your spiritual? What is your soul? What is you? Why are you here? If you're going to spend 90 years on this globe, what are you here for? Why are you here at this time in history? You're here for a reason. What is that? Okay. So the exercise I've done with you now is called logical levels. And what do we use this for? We use this to help people have a 360 review of their lives. It's a check-in to say, where are you right now? Where's your life right now? When you're going on a journey, there are two things that you need to know when you're going on the journey. Any idea what that is? Tanya?
Definitely where you're going.
Right, that's one. What's the other one? Jane, I saw you put your hand up too. What's the other one?
I was definitely on where you're going or how you want to get there. But I think that's the route is, no, it's exactly. I was going to say the route is varied.
Sure.
I also had how you're going to get there. So.
Amanda?
No, I also had how you're going to get there.
Let me put you out of your misery. When you put in your destination into a GPS, what is the first thing it works out? Where you are. If you're in your driveway and you want to go to the shopping center, it'll take you one route. But if you're at the petrol station and you want to go to the same shopping center, it'll take you a different route. So there are two things that you need to know. Where are you and where do you want to go? This logical levels exercise is a way to take a client and through a process of where are you right now? Creating awareness. What is urgent in the life? What is important? Now, you will notice that I asked you to write down your feedback on each of those sections. If you go and Google this, number one, anytime you want to Google anything to do with NLP, you put in NLP first and then what you want. So if you just simply go and type logical levels, you're going to get a whole lot of stuff about building. So, but NLP logical levels will give you this. And you will see that most of the coaches do this exercise with the client and the client doesn't provide them any feedback. They also don't make any notes. Okay. So when the client doesn't give you feedback, we call that closed content. You might want to write this down. When the client does not give you feedback, we call it closed content. When the client does give you feedback, we call it open content. So some coaches will make the notes for the client. Ask the client to talk to them, give them the answers back, and then the coach makes the notes. Now, I don't like that because if you and I are having a discussion, I'm going to come along to this discussion and I'm going to decide what to delete. Okay, sorry, guys, I saw that I was frozen. All right. So let me just go over that. When you ask the client to give you open content, which means they're telling you everything, what I do is I come along and I apply in my own mind, delete, distort, and generalize, and then I make notes. So I'm making notes about things that may not be so important. And so it's really important for me that I give my client the notes. I let the client write because the client will write what is important. You guys wrote what was important for you. After I'm finished doing the logical levels, I will now sit down with my client. And where do I start? What was important and what was urgent? That's your first coaching stopping point. So this logical levels is a really nice technique to do at the beginning of a coaching journey. I also often do it towards the end of the coaching journey to see how it's changed. So, folks, please do not reinvent the wheel. I have taught this logical levels hundreds of times. I've used it in my coaching hundreds of times. And every time I do, I read the script that is on page 55. Do not try and learn it. It has been very specifically written, and tomorrow afternoon, Dion will tell you about Milton language. It has been very specifically written in Milton language to bypass the conscious brain and speak to the subconscious brain. So stick to the script. All right. The one thing that you do have to do, though, is you need to read that script a couple of times. Because what you need to do is you need to prepare your script. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a whole lot, whoops, where am I going? Marks on my page. And those are marks that I've put in so that I know where I'm going to pause. I want you to listen to the difference. Think about your environment, the place where you live, where you work, where you socialize, the people you have around you, the places you go, and the environment generally in life. By now you're overwhelmed. You can't think of all of that stuff. So you've got to read it slowly. One instruction, take a pause. One instruction, take a pause. So now listen to the difference. Think about your environment. The place where you live, where you work, where you socialize, the people you have around you, the places you go. So when you're working with a client, be very sure that you give them an instruction and then you wait. You give them an instruction and then you wait. You don't want to wait so long that your client falls asleep on their feet. But you want to allow them time. Okay? Once you finish reading, you tell them to make their notes. And if you're in the room with them, you can simply say to them, nod when you're done. But I've got 14 of you online here. I can't watch and count for 14 notes. So I say, put your hands down beside you so that I know that you're done. Okay. There's one thing I want you to please go and change. In the third paragraph from the bottom, the one that talks to vision and spirituality, in the second line, there's a word that says epitaph. Now, epitaph is a very old-fashioned word for gravestone. Most people, or a lot of people, don't know what it means. So just change the word to gravestone. Okay, are there any questions? When do you use this? Anytime you want to get a 360 view of what is going on in the client's world. All right, so I'm going to pop you into breakout rooms now. Because I want you to go through this and I want you to work through it. All right, so I've put you 3 to a breakout room. What I want you to do is I want you to each take a paragraph in turn. All right? I want you to read the paragraph in a slow way, taking the pauses. All right? And then the other 2 will give you feedback. Should you have read it slower? Also, you don't want your voice to be interesting. So you kind of want to just quieten your voice, make it a little bit boring, You don't want to attract attention to yourself. As the coach, you just want the client to be in their own world. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to go into the breakout room. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Please don't have a whole discussion around this. The point is to go in there, to read the paragraph or two, understand the tone of the voice, understand the phrasing, and to get some feedback. All right? It is now almost 22 to. I'm going to give you 10 minutes and I'll bring you back at 10 to 2. All right. Here you go. Here are your invites. Amanda, please accept your invite. Laverne, I see you've popped back. Are you in the same room as your mom?
Yeah, no, I'm not in a room now.
Okay, I'm going to just change you to another room.
Please, thank you.
Laverne, I see you back again.
Yes, you didn't put me in. I don't know why I'm not going in anyway.
Laverne, do me a favor. I did send you a new one. I'm going to send you one to room 3 and another one to room 4. Please only accept room 4.
Okay, so which one do I accept, Ru?
Right, I'm sending you now. You'll get one for room 4. Accept that one. Did you get it? There you go. All right. Does anybody have any comments, feedback, questions? No comments, feedback. Folks, when you come out of the breakout rooms, please, can I ask you just to mute yourselves as you land back in the main room? All right. No questions. You guys got it. You're all aces. Yay. All right. Now for the confusing factor. Turn over to page 56. On page 56 is another version of logical levels. Whereas the first one was a review of your life. The one on page 56 is very definitely where there's a known problem, where there's a known challenge or a known issue. Client suffers from anger. You use 56 to understand how the anger affects his world. Client nail bites. You use the one on page 56 to understand how the nail biting affects their world. Okay. So I want you to just have a look, please, on the behavior one. It says, stand in front of the behavior. How are people behaving? You need to know enough about the problem to know whether there are other people involved or not. If there are no other people involved in the situation, you just leave that phrase out. Okay, so your homework tonight is page 56. You are going to read that script at least twice. You're going to go through it, and you're either going to find a human or a cat or a dog or a cushion or a poster of your celebrity crush, and you're going to take them through it. I want you to speak the words out, okay? So that you're starting the programming process. I want you to get comfortable with the rhythm. Now, you actually need to do this for 55 and 56, okay? So that if on Saturday in your coaching sessions, you need to use it, you're comfortable with it. So find a human, give them a pen and piece of paper, let them write it down. The one on page 56 does not include the last paragraph on page 55 about step forward, turn around, look back down the journey and choose which is most important, which is urgent. So please add that into it. Because as a coach, it would give you a place to start. If you're using family to go through this tonight, that's absolutely fine. You can do that, but please do not go into coaching mode, unpacking. Let them tell you anything that they want to particularly share. That's fine, but please do not go into coaching mode. All right. So is everybody very clear on what you need to do for that for homework? You're going to read the script through twice. You're going to prepare where you're going to pause. And then you're going to find a human or your celebrity crush, and you're going to take them through it. If you don't have a human, take a pillow and physically move it from the one to the other. The thing about this logical levels, you can take a cat or a dog, or you can take a pair of shoes, you can take anything. I had a lady who had a big wooden hippopotamus doorstop. It was about like this size. And she literally moved this thing through In those days, I asked people to send me photos because it was fun for me to see what they were using as clients, who or what they were using as clients. Tanya, are you sharing? Okay. Okay, everybody clear? Are there any questions on that? All right. When we come back, we're going to do what you've been waiting all day to do, which is the values exercise. So please, when you come, we're going to take a break now. When you come back, please just make sure you've got your values exercise that you prepared last night. And if you've got some colored pens or pencils or highlighters, that you've got those with you. If you don't, it's fine. Okay? All right. It's now 5:02 pretty much. I'll see you at 2:05. All righty, let's see who's back. Elsa, I see you have a hand up. Do you have a question?
No, just showing you I'm here.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Great. Okay, Laverne, Lily, are you ladies back? Okay.
Yes, we're back.
All right. So everybody, you've got your piece of paper with the stuff that you filled in last night for your values exercise, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work our way through it systematically. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the time component first. Okay, so my power has just gone out. I just want to check, and I'm still on with you guys. You can see me, you can hear me. All right. My power's just gone out, but my inverter's kicked in, so that's good. Cool. All right. We should be good to go. So we want to look first at the time column. All right. Now, the reality is I'm not a massive shopping fan, okay? I could do without shopping in my life. It's not something that fascinates me in any form. Going into any kind of a shopping center, time out, all right? I'd rather shop online if I can. But when my daughter says to me, Mom, I want to go down to our local shopping center, do you want to come with me? I will make time to do that. I will make time available to be with her doing what she wanted to do because she is important to me. All right. So in the time column, I want you to look at the first thing. Shopping with Kendra. Do I make the time available for it? If the answer is yes, you leave it blank. If the answer is not enough or no, you make a mark. Now, this is a tick or a squiggle or a star or a, okay, for the moment, guys, you're using all the same color. The colored pens will come in later, okay? For now, just do all of your marks in the same color. Ticks, squares, stars, whatever you want, it doesn't matter, okay? Put a tick in the column next under time if you do not make enough time or you don't, or the answer is no. So do I have the time to go shopping with Kendra? Absolutely yes. You leave it blank. If the answer is not enough or no, you make the mark. Okay? So work your way now down the screen, and when you get to the bottom of your list, please switch your camera off. All right, when you get to the bottom of the column, put your camera off so I know that you're done. Remember, you are marking the things you don't make enough or no, you don't have time. Okay, Electra, Sibisiso, are you guys done? Please don't overthink this, folks. It needs to be a gut instinct reaction answer. All right. Okay, everybody pop your cameras back on again. We're now going to look at the energy column. And I want you to write next to energy effort. And the question here is, do I have the energy or do I make the effort? Do I have the energy to go to the shopping center all by myself? Hell no. But let Kendra pick up the phone. I suddenly have got a lot of energy and I make the effort to go. So the question here is, do I have the energy and do I make the effort? If the answer is yes, you leave it blank. If the answer is not enough, I should make more, or no, then you make a mark. So you're marking the no side. Okay, when you get to the bottom of the page, please switch your camera off. Sibisiso, are you done? I can't hear you if you're talking to me. You're on mute.
No, no, ma'am. I'm trying to follow. But I was actually typing. Yeah, I went offline early yesterday. I'm trying to figure out what the exercise is about. I was waiting to see if I can follow up.
Okay, so you need in your left-hand column a list of all the things that you value.
I think it's page 36, if I'm not mistaken. So be
36.
Yeah,
Okay.
36.
Okay, let me look at that. Okay, thank you so much.
Tanya, are you done with your time, your energy effort list? All right. Everybody pop your cameras back on. Okay, very good. The next one is money. Now, money is the funniest thing. Do I make money available to go and do shopping? No. But it's the funniest thing when my daughter phones and says, Mom, let's go out for lunch on her and my day off. It's funny how there's always money in my budget to go and have lunch with her. So the question is, do I have the money or do I make the money available? If the answer is yes, you leave it blank. If the answer is not enough or no, make a mark. If the answer is yes, you leave it blank. If the answer is no or not enough or any version of that, you make a mark. And folks, there's no right or wrong on this. Be honest with yourselves. Nobody's going to see this. Okay, when you get to the bottom of the page, please switch your cameras off. All right. Okay. Pop your cameras back on again. Great. Now the people one is a little bit more complicated because this is like a double question. First question you want to ask is, do I need people for this? So let us assume in your top row you've got bubble baths. Okay. Ask yourself the question, do I need people to do a bubble bath? If the answer is no, you leave it blank. If the answer is yes, then you need to ask yourself, do I find the people? Now, folks, having a bubble bath with people is not weird. It's called a jacuzzi. Okay? So the question is, do I need people? If the answer is no, you leave it blank. If the answer is yes, the next question is, do I find the people? Again, if the answer is yes, you leave it blank. But if the answer is no, or not enough, or not often enough, then you make a mark. So if you don't find the people often enough, and when you're done with your list, you can switch your cameras off. Good job. All right. Everybody, you can switch your cameras back on again. Now, as you look down of your page, you might see some items that you've got 4 marks against, some that you've got 3 against, some that you've got 2, 1, none. That's okay. Don't judge yourself. There's no right or wrong answer here. It is what it is. And remember, this is an exercise that you are doing today. This is how you are today. Okay. All right. So now what I want you to do is, this is when we get to your highlighters or your colored pens. I want you to pick one colored pen. Or if you're not using a colored pen, I want you to just kind of do a zigzag through the words and the line. I want you to mark all of the items that you have 4 marks against. So if you've got any that have got 4 marks, just mark them. So these are items that you don't have the time, you don't have the energy, effort, you don't make the money, and you don't find the people to do. Folks, these are joy and happiness stealers. They are false values. These things are not your values. Or they might have been your values in a previous chapter of your life, but in this chapter that you're in, they're not your values. So often in this section, we find things like family members, religion, sometimes health, those kinds of things, where people have put rules into place for you to live by, but they're not your real values. Right now, give yourself permission to stop chasing them. Give yourself permission to let them go. If they come back in another phase of your life or in another chapter of your life, so be it. But right now, all they are doing is they are causing you stress and anxiety. Give yourself permission to let them go. Okay, so now in another color, or if you don't have a color, just a straight line through them, all the ones that have got 3 marks. These ones that have got 3 marks are probably values that you had in your previous chapter of your life. They're no longer important to you, but you're still chasing them. And so they're leaving you feeling tired and exhausted because they're not serving you in this chapter. And again, give yourself permission to let them go. Their time has been and gone. They may come back again later, but for now, they're not important. Okay, now in another color, or if you don't have a color, Mboyi, can't hear you.
Hi, Leslie. It was difficult for me to cross where I had four ticks, and then you are saying.
Unpack this, Mboyi. Can we unpack this when we're finished?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I want to finish this first, please.
Okay.
So now what I want you to do in another color is mark all the ones that have got 2 marks against it. If you're using the same color, just draw a circle around them. Now, these are quite interesting because sometimes these are a little bit scratchy. Sometimes they're a value that is kind of starting to come in, a new value in preparation for your new chapter. Or there might be ones that are kind of starting to go out. They're just a little bit uncomfortable. They don't quite sit right. And again, decide whether you need to chase them or not. These ones you need to do a little bit of analysis around and decide whether it's important that you chase them right now. And now in another color, or if you're using the same color, just underline the word, mark all of the ones that have got 1 mark against them. And these ones tend to be kind of like a fresh value. These are ones that are in stronger than the one with 2 marks. And again, they're either coming in for your next chapter or they're just starting to move out. And again, you need to spend a bit of time and analyze these ones. And now the ones with no marks against them. These are the ones that are fulfilling your core values. These activities and these things are fulfilling your core values right now. These are the things that are most important to you right now. Some of you might have none that have got no ticks. That's okay. There's no right or wrong here. It is what it is. All right. So would anybody like to share? And Boye, I'm coming to you. Would anybody like to share about what they've discovered while doing this exercise? And I'm going to pick on people who haven't been contributing much. So if you're in the not contributing much, bye, Kim. Can't hear you.
So
Okay,
I was
Boy.
putting my pencils away. My table gets cluttered.
Boy, you were saying.
Okay, no, I just wanted to find out where you said where we've got 4 marks and maybe we need to let go of those things. If you still want to pursue them because it's necessary to pursue them, should you still cross it, the ones with 4 marks?
So the ones that are in 4 marks, you need to look at. And you need to make a decision. Am I okay to let it go? So I did this with a gentleman once, and he's a very happily married gentleman. Or so he thought. And his wife pitched up with 4 marks against her. And so I said to him, are you comfortable with it? And he said, hell no. So I said, so what are you going to do about it? 3 months later, we did this values exercise. She had no marks against her. Why? Because he was now putting in the time. They were going out on dates. He was having the energy and effort. He was spending quality time with her. He made a decision that she was important, and so he changed his behavior and his lifestyle. And quite clearly, his wife was much happier with that kind of life. So you need to decide, are you okay in letting them go? If you're not okay in letting them go, well, then you need to do something about it. I had a lady whose mother pitched up in the bottom 4 with 4 marks. And I said to her, are you happy with it? She said, absolutely. My mother has caused such chaos in my life of recent that I'm quite happy to let her go for a while. I have no doubt that they will resolve their issue. But for now, she was quite happy to let mom go. Focus on the empowering ones. Focus on the ones that are 1 and 2 and no marks. So 0 marks and 1 mark. Focus on those ones. Chase those ones down. And watch your life turn into joy and happiness. Because those are the things that are making you happy. Those are the things that are important now in your life. Okay, so I'm going to quickly pop you into breakout rooms. I'm going to pop you, how many of you? 16, so that's 14. So we want 8 breakout rooms. I'm going to pop you into breakout rooms of 2 each. And I just want you to share what you've realized about your values. All right, so you're in groups of 2. If you get stuck on your own, I will come and rescue you. All right, I'm just going to give you 10 minutes to chat about this. It's 2:30 now. I'll bring you back at 20 to 3. Okie dokie, everybody is back. All right, who would like to share something about what they discovered by doing this exercise?
Man, it was here.
Okay, I will go again.
Go, I'm waiting. Take it away.
Like I said to Michelle, I think everybody says that being old is not nice, but you change your outlook on life entirely through your ages. I don't want my life over, because what I've learned and how I've come to the fact that I have very basic values and not interests or want to have, it's really values, something I truly value. I don't have one that has got 4 ticks on it, because I don't need people. I don't need people to make me happy. I don't need people to enjoy the wind, to have a cup of coffee in the mornings. I don't need that. Yes, it would be nice to have someone in my life, but it's not something that I have to have. So I've got no 4s.
Thanks, Elsa, for sharing. Lily, you have a hand up to share?
Hello, yes. I just found this important that, one of my values is relationships with friends. And actually, I had 3 ticks there. and then when you said it's no longer important because it sort of drains you and it's not serving you, it made so much of sense to me, because I was just explaining that about this one friend that I've got that had undergone an operation, and I was thinking I'm supporting her by keep on reaching out, calling her, and wanting to visit her. And then I made 2 appointments to visit her. And the one time she said to me, "Oh, I'm in a rush. I'm going somewhere." And the next time, and we postponed it. And the next time she said, "Oh, can't we postpone it to, for instance, like a Friday?" And then the Friday she didn't come back to me. I also didn't follow up. And I just, at the back of my mind, I actually just said to myself, this is something I wanted to do anyway, because it really doesn't serve me.
So the question is remember yesterday I said, don't write down my family, my friends. Write them down individually. Because right now you would know which friendships are serving you and which are not. And the answer is going to be the ones where you are not doing all the giving, where it's an equal balance of giving and taking. Those are the friendships that'll work. Those are the family relationships that'll work. But if you find you've got a relative and you're the one to pick up the phone all the time, you're the one to make the arrangements, you're the one that pays the bills, you've got to wonder about how important is that friendship to them? If it's not an equal thing, that friendship's not that important. Let it go.
Yes, that's true.
But the trick is to let it go guilt-free.
Yes. I'm actually happy to do that because before I took this course, it was at the back of my mind that this is what I should do because I don't actually need this type of friend.
And I think every one of us wants to make our lives easier. And so why do we chase the things that bring us stress and anxiety?
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you, Lily. Anybody else like to share? Vian, I haven't heard from you all day.
It's Monday. I blame it on Mondays.
Yep.
Hello.
What did you discover?
At the beginning, I wanted my list to be longer and longer. And then after this, my list is very, very small, actually. But I'm glad to say my dog made it. He made the cut on my list. So he can stay. He was almost at the neighbor's house, but he can stay for a while more. But yeah, this is it's an eye-opener. It's actually an eye-opener. Before you value something, just sit back and quickly just think, do I truly value this, or is it a nice to have? Is it just nice to say this? Because at the end of the day, if you close your eyes, you couldn't quickly note if you value it or not. And yeah, just an eye-opener for me.
So the reality of the situation is I will move just about any arrangement that I have, provided it's not a client, to spend time with my daughter. And it's as simple as that. Because my daughter is my most important person on the planet. It's just the way it is. It may not always be like that, but right now it's like that. Okay, so understanding what are the important things in your life is going to make a massive difference in your decision making. Because what happens now is something comes up to you and you say, does this serve my values? Yes, it does. Tick, do it. No, it doesn't. Don't do it. And so your decision-making process becomes a lot easier because you now start living your values. And when you're living your values, what happens? Joy, happiness, and excitement goes up because stress and anxiety goes down. Because you can say guilt-free, no thank you. So let me explain this. About 18 months ago, I met a lady, and she and I were studying on a course together. And we developed quite a nice friendship. But I noticed that I wasn't giving as much as she was ready to give. And I sat down and I thought about it for a while. And I realized that what she was doing was she was using our friendship for free coaching. Because every time she had a problem, she would ask me what the problem was, and she would expect me to coach her through it. And then I pulled up the handbrake and I stopped putting in the effort. I stopped checking in on her. I stopped phoning her. And then the next thing, she picks up the phone and she phones me. She says, well, I'm clearly not that important in your life because if I don't phone and contact you, you don't make contact with me. And I was able to say to her, yeah, but I feel that you only contact me when you're in trouble. She changed her behavior and we now have a nice friendship because we now have a friendship. She doesn't get coaching from me anymore, so I don't feel used in the friendship. Does that make sense? And it was only after I did this exercise on her that I understood why she had 4 ticks against her name. So you don't have to do this on a whole page. If an opportunity comes your way, quickly do this exercise. Will I make time for it? Yes, no. Have I got the effort, energy? Yes, no. How many ticks does it have? I'm not going to do it where I'm going to do it. So you want to say yes to the things that land up in 0 ticks and 1 tick, ticks or marks, whatever they are, and you want to start saying no to the things that land up with 2, 3, and 4 marks against them. Does that make sense, folks? Okay. The trick is, if you're giving something up, you've got to give it up guilt-free. If you're not giving it up guilt-free, then you're not really wanting to give it up, and then you need to make some decisions. Cool. Makes sense. All right. Homework assignment number 3. Tonight, you're going to write a love letter. So stop. Lena, has your values changed since you last did it? When did you last do it?
I did it in July.
Okay, so we're 5 months out.
Yeah.
July, August, September, October, 3 months out, and it's changed.
Yes.
Good. So you're going to do the next exercise as well then.
Okay.
All right. You are going to write a love letter to yourself. This love letter should be about 2 A4 pages typed and about 4 A4 pages handwritten. So it's about 5 minutes in length. Okay, now, remember I said to you earlier, we've always are our biggest critics. This one, you're going to be your biggest cheerleader. Starting with your values assignment, I want you to write a letter to yourself. You're writing it to yourself as if you were another person. You're not writing it, I am, okay? You're writing it in the third person as if you're standing outside of yourself talking to yourself. Dearest Leslie, I'm so very proud of the way that you did, I know this time in your life was very challenging, but look how you've grown. Look how those challenging times taught you lessons. You are the woman or the man that you are today because of the challenges in your life. Okay, so I want you to focus on the things that you're proud of. I want you to focus on the things that you're grateful for. The things that you're sorry for. The challenges that you've learned from. Give yourself some advice. So I want you to stand where you are in your life and look back in your life. Well done. Congratulations on doing this. I'm grateful for that time in our life. Focus on the positive of the negative. So the challenging time in your life, what did you learn as a result of that? Okay, tomorrow you will read your love letter in class. We'll start off with the love letters tomorrow morning. Okay. I'm going to put you into breakout rooms and you'll read your love letters in the breakout room. So you won't read it to the whole group. But it's really, really, really important that you give this exercise your all. I said to you, if you participate and contribute fully in this journey, your own personal journey will be amazing. And this is one of the things I want you to really focus on. Put your effort and energy into this. For some of you, this is going to be really difficult because you've been programmed not to appreciate the goodness in you. Particularly the gentlemen of this group, you have been programmed not to connect into your emotions. I really want to encourage you to go there. This is such a healing exercise. If you cry while you're writing your letter tonight, grab a tissue, but write it anyway. If you cry while you're reading it tomorrow, grab a tissue, read it anyway. I have had people whose lives have changed because of writing these letters. It's something I get my clients to do. There's a difference between writing it and reading it. Okay? So please, folks, give this letter the time and the energy and the effort it deserves. Okay, so just to go over it, it's about 5 minutes long, just because we want to give everybody a chance to read their letters. It's about 2 A4 pages of typed, and it's about A4 pages of handwritten. Now, folks, you can go along and use a size 40 font if you want to. Okay? You won't be defeating me. You'll only be cheating yourself. Invest in this exercise. Are there any questions about this? No? All right. Okay. So I want to just quickly give you your homework, and then I'm going to go through the room and ask everybody what is their number one takeaway from today. All right. So homework for today. You're going to complete the coaching questionnaire. You can just complete it in the manual. It's fine. But I want you to take time to go through the coaching questionnaire. You're going to prepare the script, and you're going to deliver the script on page 56, logical levels. Number 2, get specific with the problem. You're going to write your love letter. And then you're going to read up to and including page 56. Okay. In your email from Nicole, you would have been told to get some Post-its. If you haven't got Post-its, please don't go and buy them. Just take a couple of pieces of A4 paper and cut them in half. Cut them into, not the little ones, guys, please. We'll need this for Thursday morning, not the little ones. Try and get reasonable sized pieces of paper so that you can write on them. We will need those for Thursday. Okay. All right. So, Lena, thank you for that message. Since you have to step out, would you like to start? What are you taking away from today that you haven't taken away before?
Sure. I think just the exercises that we've done, for me, the logical levels and the values are such powerful tools, if I can put it that way, that you can use with the client. And I've seen them, I've used them a lot of times, and I can really say they are valuable. It was good for me to go through them again with the way you do it and be reminded, but they are really two very powerful and useful tools in our NLP toolbox.
Fabulous, thank you. Jane, what are you taking away with you today?
Well, actually, very similar. I love those two tools. I've used them in different formats. This is a completely different format, and I found it very interesting. And yeah, so I learned quite a lot about what I value, and I really knew where I was missing out on time or effort or whatever. I already knew that, and it was so nice to have it quite obviously put in my face. So thank you, that was really great.
Yep, we have a way of doing this to ourselves when we document stuff. It's amazing how and this is why journaling is so powerful. When you're sitting thinking, you go round and 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 round. When you document it and you write it down, you put it in your face. So if you're not a journaler, it's a habit I would hugely encourage that you do. But not a typed journal. Go and buy yourself a book, something pretty that excites you, some pretty pens, whatever you feel like, and you dedicate 5-10 minutes just to journaling. You'll be amazed what comes out of that. Thanks, Jane. Electra.
Okay, thank you very much, Leslie, sorry. My highlight for me would be, I think, the part where you were just telling us in terms of listening as we are, when we are with the client, that we should be curious and fascinated because you want to find out more, and also to remove any judgments that we might have. And I know sometimes we judge people at face value, and that then acts as a barrier. So the idea is just to come in as a clean slate and have that open mind to listen to whatever the client has to say and assist. And by the way, you also said it's not to give your opinion. You're there to facilitate their outcome, which they desire. So it means I really have to listen hard and ask the right questions as well. So that was my highlight. And I'm looking forward to the love letter to myself. I think that's an activity that's going to be the highlight. I've done one, I think, sometime last week. But there's always, I'm a person who journals, so I love to write. So I know it's going to, a lot of things change. Like the fact that I'm here, I'm actually grateful for that as well. So there's a lot that there's a lot of self-discovery when one does activities like that. So I'm looking forward to that. And thank you for that homework.
So one thing I just want to expand upon, there's a difference between giving a client your opinion and standing on the outside, looking in on their situation and offering an alternate solution.
Okay.
So things like, because when you're on the outside, you see the situation differently from when you're living. Have you thought about, is it maybe an option for you to do X, Y, Z? All you're doing is you're taking off the blinkers, you're widening it, and you're saying, have you considered this? And so often when I do that, the client says, no, that won't work. But what I could do is X, Y, Z. Because you're just freeing your mind and you're opening it. Thanks, Electra. Tanya.
So I really loved the logical levels and the way it was done. It just is a very different way, and it's such a beautiful, easy way to do with your clients to see where they need to focus. So I've got something similar that I've done with the 5-year vision, et cetera, but this is really, really beautiful, and also the way that we were standing and we did it. So obviously that's also got to do with using our subconscious. I don't know why we needed to physically walk it.
It's the geography. It's the geography, because what it does is while you're standing on the environment page, you focus on the environment.
Nice.
Now we're going to move on to behaviors. So we're not going to focus on environment. It's that break state.
Okay.
Focus. Here we're looking at environment. Big step, break state. Pattern interrupt. Focus on behavior.
That's it. There we go. I really, really enjoyed that. Yeah. Pattern interrupt. That's what we were doing. Perfect.
Exactly. All right. Nice one, Tanya. Thank you, Vian.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for today as well. I didn't realize how quickly life passes by me until I did the logical levels as well as the values. I think I was living life in the fast lane, and something happened to me. I would like brush it off, go on with life. But I think today I realized if I just stop, just have a look back. I think it's very powerful now. I'm looking forward to my homework. I haven't done something like that in my life, so I know it's going to be a challenge for me. But yeah, I'm always up for a challenge. So yeah.
Your love letter is going to play very much into that. Taking a moment just to be your own cheerleader for your past and your journey. Great stuff. Thanks, Vian. Michelle.
My highlight of today was definitely the self-realization that I had with both exercises. The logical levels, I really discovered that I need to work on something that I thought was behind me, something that I thought I was okay with. And with the values, I really realized that some things that I value might not be my own values, but imposed on me by others. So I'm really glad for the self-realization that I had today. Yeah.
So that thing, if when we ask for volunteers, it is appropriate, volunteer and let's get it sorted.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Thank you.
All right, Lungile.
Thank you, Leslie. Today was also quite eye-opening for me. I think, discovered a lot of questions that I have that I actually thought I knew I had answers to. But when we did that logical levels exercise, I had so many question marks, and I realized, I thought I knew this about myself, but I don't have an answer. And I think I discovered how the business of my life has actually not given me enough quiet time to actually reflect over such a long time, because I found myself always answering, what am I? What do I do? I'm just busy. I don't know. I haven't even had time to think about so many things, so it's really given me a nudge to say I need to give myself time to reflect and really revisit who I am. And also where the values are concerned, they were quite accurate for me because I'm going through a transition in my life. And one of the things that I had put as my value was love. But because I'm in a transition in that space, I discovered I have 4 ticks on that. So really right now, it's really just something I should not be focusing on, or rather I'm not focusing on. So yeah, it was really quite eye-opening for me, and I'm looking forward to writing that love letter to myself. I think it will give me a sort of healing that I need right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Lungile. Sibusiso, what are you taking away from today?
Thank you, Leslie. From the time we spoke about rapport, building a rapport with a client, that was very nice. It's like you buying the client. You at the same time, you're making the client feel more comfortable to even go an extra mile, telling you what the problem is about. And going further with logical levels, that specifically with me as well, it makes you realize that to sort something out, you need to actually know where you are, or you need to identify that specific problem. You even talked about when you're going somewhere, you need to know where you exactly are. That alone, it was an eye opener. And the values, of course, it's about basically knowing what's good for you. I mean, yeah, I think it was very, very fruitful.
Very good. Thank you, Sibusiso. Just before I forget, folks, the question paper, the assessment that you have at the end of this is a multiple choice question paper. And so it's very easy to ask a question where the variation of the name of a skill or a technique is kind of given in 4 options. Make sure that from the get-go you learn what the right name is, okay? Because when you come to the exam paper, you don't want to have to look at it and go, oh, I don't know, maybe it's this or maybe it's that, maybe it's the next thing. So get those things in straight away. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Hi. So for me, today was, it was awesome for me. There's a lot of things that I learned about me. It was nice to see how you actually make us integrate theory into practice through the exercises that we did in the breakaway rooms and also the exercise that we did outside. So there's things that I learned about the clients. When we're coaching the clients, what I'm taking home is, the fact that we need not to, impose or advise according to our own values or experiences to the client, but look at the experiential world of the client in us guiding them or coaching them. For me, that was a takeaway, because in counseling, mostly you guide, you advise, and all of that. And for me, the exercise that we did and what you told us in terms of behavioral frame, the things that we need to do, it actually then, showed me why sometimes you'd find that clients would come back now and again after you had terminated sessions with them. So for me, it was an eye-opener. And then the values, again, it was good, a bit emotional. The things that I need to think about more after the session. I'm looking forward to writing a letter to myself. I know it's going to be emotional because I've also shared with the person I was in the breakaway room, Lily, that I'm also going through some transition. So the exercises that we've been doing today sort of like gave me a complete picture of, where I am currently and all of that. So for me, it was great. I've learned a lot.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Kim, you're next on my screen.
Okay. Hi. Okay, just unmuting myself. Thanks, Leslie. Yeah, there's been a lot of things. Obviously, I haven't been really feeling very well today, but for the most part, look, I've come into this and I'm completely just of everything I've learned and everything, all expectations and preconceived ideas as to how to go about things. I'm completely open-minded, and I've really enjoyed the exercises, and I found them very useful. So both exercises that you made us do, I really did enjoy those. Again, I mean, like everybody's saying, I think we're all trying to say the same thing in our own words, because I think we're all pretty much taking away much of the same thing, is that it's a self journey. I mean, for those that are practicing and that are coaching and that are doing these things, it's a lot more exciting for them. But for the most part, there's a lot of self work that the others of us are doing, and so I found a lot of value in that. And I'm just really in a state of learning, and that's my mindset, and that's where I'm at, and I'm just a sponge at the moment, and I'm absorbing, and so I'm very excited to continue, and I found what I take away is just those exercises, and looking forward to using them in my family. I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with him.
Please do.
And as long as far as that love letter goes, well, I've done those a few times. And it's always a very emotional journey, because it's like I say, I've been on this journey for about anything from 8 to 10 years. So and like you say, what and how you felt about yourself 5 months ago, or a year ago, or 2 years ago is, you're not the same person. Your authentic self exists, but for the most part, it's always an emotional journey, and you never have it all figured out. And so that's why I'm always in the state of learning. And so, that's what I'm taking away from today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Electra, what are you taking away from today?
Leslie, I already spoke.
Did you? Okay. So,
but I don't mind.
Guys are switching on your cameras and off your cameras, and you keep moving. Thanks, Electra. Lungile. No problem. Lungile, have you given us your feedback?
Yes, I have.
Okay, good. Then Amanda.
Hi. I found the exercises. I found the exercises very useful today. I feel like a level of self-awareness has come to the surface that I haven't really been focusing on much, which is it's all the personal stuff that I kind of tend to pack away and avoid sometimes. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to writing. Be a lot of healing for me.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Amanda. Elsa, for you.
Okay, let's start it. Even though a person thinks you're very well grounded and you focused on your future, these exercises teach you that there's definitely more room for growth, more room for self-improvement. And it makes me realize that before I could coach anybody else, there's some things in my life I need to set right. My mindset, my not my outlook on life, but just my mindset I need to work on, definitely.
Good. Thanks, you, Elsa. And Lillian Laverne. I haven't got hold of Laverne yet.
Their network is very bad.
Yes, the network is bad, so Laverne's phone is off. She can't reconnect. But what I want to say, what I took away from today is, I really enjoy the value exercise that we did, because it also made me realize that if there's something in my life that I'm struggling with, I can do that exercise, and it will give me clarity as to what the way forward is.
Good. Is Laverne there with you, Lily?
Just hold on. Okay. Yeah. Hi there.
You thought you were going to get away with this, eh?
No, I'm struggling with my phone because I'm sitting with my phone here on the one side and I'm struggling to reconnect and get back in. But anyway, a part that really stood out for me today was the part on the values. That part really hit home, because the way you've explained it and the way it was just something else. And then another highlight for me was the part on the rapport. and the interaction with the clients. Also that we must know to be more open-minded and less opinionated. And I think that's what we as humans struggle with, because the moment you interact or the moment you meet someone or spend some time with someone, you immediately you judge and you. So yeah, I think that's what I took from today's lesson, and it's really going to help. Yeah.
Thank you, Laverne.
Thank
All
you.
right. So on the question of values, what are the chances that you and the significant other in your life have got the same values at the same time?
None. Yeah, none. I don't think that's possible.
Absolutely zero chance.
Yeah.
What are the chances that your children are going to grow up to have the same values as you? What are the chances that your teenagers have got the same values as you?
Yeah.
It came home to me this when my daughter was in high school getting ready to decide what she wants to do after school, when we had to choose her subjects. All I wanted for this amazing, brilliant, smart, eloquent child of mine was for her to go into law. I thought she was going to be the most amazing lawyer. And for years, she said to me, Mom, I want to be a chef. Mom, I want to be a chef. Ad nauseum, Mom, I want to be a chef. And so we had this debate going on, and it was important because her matric subjects were going to be different. So I eventually sent her off for a test. Guess what comes up number 2 on her test? Chef. What do you think my daughter does for a living now? She's a chef. And she can't wait to go to work. She loves it. Do you think that I would be a good chef? Hell no. I would tell the client, if you don't like the food that you're getting, get up and leave my restaurant. Okay? Then I started my coaching business. All I wanted for her was to join me in the coaching business in the fullness of time. And then she sat down to me, Mom, I hate coaching. I hate every minute of it. So understand that your kids, as young as they are, have different values and priorities. Play into those values. Play into their strengths. Don't make them mini-me's. If they're saying they want to be soccer players and they've got talent, send them on extra training to give them the best opportunity. Don't force them into extra maths, which they hate. You're just wasting your money because it's not where their skills. Strengthen their skills. All right, you amazing people. You've got a lot of work to do tonight. Go and be amazing. I will see you all tomorrow morning early. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, Leslie. Bye.
Thanks, Leslie. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye. Thanks, Lily.